Yo, hello there and welcome back my fellow pixelators. As you can see by today's title, we are doing none other than the final part for Zoro. That's right, we're going to be doing the final part, which is 23, which this build has been definitely a long build, but there has been a lot of detail to fill in. As you see today, we are going to be doing the rest of the face, well, not the rest, all the face and all of the hair for today's part. Now, before I get into the blocks that are going to be needed for today, I just want to say a quick little thing, and that is for the next builds that I'll be doing for the channel. So for the next builds that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be releasing 3 specials. That's right, 3 specials, not 1, not 2, 3 specials. Now, I'm not going to say what the specials are, so I don't want to give it away, but I will tell you the themes, and we'll be releasing 2 specials at a time. So we'll be doing the first theme and the second theme that I'll say, and then once one of those themes is done, we're then taking the third theme. So first of all, the first theme that we're going to be doing is going to be Pokemon, and then the second theme is we're going to be doing Naruto. After that would be the third theme, which is My Hero Academia. Now, the Naruto one's actually going to be quite short, but it's a required one, and I must say, you should look forward to it, definitely. Now, with that being said, enough of wasting time for the start. Let's actually get into the blocks that we're going to be needing for today. Oh, I guess one quick thing, if you don't know what my specials are like, go and check on the Naruto vs Sasuke. I'll put a thing at the end of the screen so you can, like, go to it, like a click thing or whatever, if you haven't seen that yet. Now, with all that being said, let's actually get into today's blocks. So, once again, there will be a list on the screen so you can pause the video and grab other blocks. So, for today's blocks, we are going to be using jungle wood planks, end stone bricks, chisel sandstone, cut sandstone, polished granite, white wool, light grey concrete, black wool, grey terracotta, lime terracotta, lime concrete powder, and white concrete. So once you have grabbed all those blocks, for the area that we are going to be going off for today, to start off, we're going to start with the nice easiest areas first. So underneath all the swords, so this part of the chin underneath all the swords. So for this area, we're going to be using our jungle wood planks. So we got this one sector here, this little sector right here to the left, and that sector right there to the right. All of those sectors are just going to be filled in with our jungle wood. So we're literally just going to mark them all out, or if you can just fill most of them in actually, because they're quite short. So there you go, that's the first area right there. And then moving on to the next section over here. Doesn't really matter which section you go to next, just as long as you fill in all 3 of these sections. So it should be looking like that right there. And then moving all the way over to the left. And fill in this section as well, which this one's a bit bigger than the other ones, but might as well fill it in as well. And there we go. So there's that section done there as well. So that's literally everything we need for the jungle wood. So you can take out the jungle wood if you want, because we're basically replacing a couple of these blocks. So once you've taken out your jungle wood, we're then going to be using our end stone brick. And we're going to fly all the way to the right side. So as you can see underneath this ear over here, we've got this section coming off the sword right here. And that's the thing that's dangling off Zoro's ear. So we're just going to fill this in with our end stone, all inside 3 of these sectors right here. So I'm not so sure what it's actually called, what's dangling off his ear. I'm not, again, not terribly smart for what it is, but yes. I guess like an earring, kind of. But there we go. So endstone is all in there. So once again, we can take out our endstone and put it back in our inventory, because we don't need that anymore. And then with our chisel sandstone for this area. So we're going to fly all the way to the left. So you probably already noticed maybe, or if you didn't notice, there's an area that we just missed off. So part of the body, above the sword right here, and below the ear, this is going to be chiseled sandstone. So we're just going to fill this in with our chiseled sandstone. And then there we go. So that's what the area should be looking like right there as well. So once again, we're going to get rid of the chisel sandstone and then take out all the rest of our other blocks that are in our inventory. So just take this out. And then we're going to put in our hotbar slot, our lime terracotta, our lime concrete powder, and our white concrete that we grabbed. So there we go. So for the first area that we are going to be starting off though, we are going to be starting off with the face, and then we'll move on to the hair afterwards. So for the first area that we're going to be going off for the face, we're going to be going to the left eye. So for the left eye, we're going to be using our white wool, our light grey concrete, and our black wool. So fly all the way over to the left eye. And to make things as easy as possible, we're going to start off with our white wall first. And as you can see, we've got this single up left diagonal all the way to the left going up here from this 2. We're going to fly to that single up left diagonal. And once we've flown to here with our white wall, we're going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2 and 3. And there we go, we're pretty much done right there. So white wall's going to go all the way to the right down in this section right here. So we take out our cut sandstone and just on the left hand side, we're just going to mark it out just to cap off the area. And then there you go. So white wall's going all inside here as you can see. And then moving on to the actual eye itself, the center of the eye. For this area, we're going to take out our black wall first. And we're going to fly to the top line. So to the top of this 3 gap right here. In the middle of this 3 gap, we're just going to place 1 black wall going underneath. And there we go. We should be looking like that right there. Once done that, and taking out our light grey concrete, all the rest is going to be filled in with light grey concrete. So we're just going to mark it out with our light grey concrete, just like so. And then there we go, that's pretty much everything for the eye. So above the eye right here, this section right here as well, this is going to be our polished granite. So we'll mark this out as well, we might as well, as it's nice and easy. And then there you go. So we should be looking like this so far. And then continuing on with our polished granite, we're going to fly above to this section right here. So basically part of the eyebrow right here. And for the area that we're going to be going off here, we're going to be flying all the way up from these up left diagonals that you can see going up here to this 2 right here. So not the very end 2, this 2 that connects to the 3 in the up left diagonal direction. So this 2 right here. And we're going to fly all the way to the right of the 2. So to this one right here as you can see. And with our polished granite, we're going to place 2 going underneath from here. So 1 and 2. And there you go. You should be looking like that so far. And flying back towards here. From this 2 that we just placed underneath. From the second one, we're then going to place 1 going to the right. Just like so. We're then going to place 1 underneath. Now from this 1 that we placed underneath, we're then going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And there you go. That second one that we placed underneath should have connected to the 3rd of this black concrete going to the right side right here. So as you can see 1, 2 and 3, and that's the 3rd one right there. So and then we're done with that section. So polished granite is going to go all the way to the right here. And then taking our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark on the left hand side. We'll just mark this out nice and quickly. And then there we go. So once you've done that, we're then going to continue with our polished granite, and we're going to be flying to the right of the eye, so not to the right eye, just to the right of the left eye in this section right here as you can see. And for the first area that we're going to go off in this section, we're going to be flying all the way down to this line right here, so kind of in the bottom right diagonal direction from the eye, this line right here, and where we got this 1 single bottom left diagonal, we're going to be flying to this single bottom left diagonal right here. Once you've flown to this single bottom left diagonal, we're going to do 2 points off here. So for the first point we're going to do, we're going to place 1 going to the left from here. Then once you place 1 going to the left, fly back into the right by 1, so back to the black concrete. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal, just like so. And there we go. So we're going to continue from the bottom right diagonal first. So fly back over to here. Once you've flown back over to the bottom right diagonal, we're then going to do 6 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like so. Then from the 6th bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 7 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just like so. And as you can see, that 7th one that we placed underneath connected to this 2 that's going up right here, and to the first of the 2. Now once we have done this, we're then going to zoom out. As you can see, we're not quite done with this area yet. So once we have done all this, first of all we're going to fly all the way back up to the bottom right diagonal that we did. So back to this point right here. Once you've flown back to this point right here, we're then going to place 1 going up from here, just like so. Once you place 1 going up, we're then going to place 6 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like so. So we should be looking like that right there. And then once you place this 6th one to the right, we're then going to place 2 going up. So 1 and 2. On the second one that we place going up, we're then going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to do bottom right diagonal. And then there we go. Once you've done this bottom right diagonal right here, to make things nice and simple, we're going to zoom out. So, once you've zoomed out, we're then going to be flying all the way down to the two upright diagonals of the black concrete flown on the zone for the nose. So over here, as you can see above the mouth, this is basically the nose right here. And we're going to be flying to that too. Once you've flown to this two right here, we're going to be starting from the bottom of the two upright diagonals. So this one right here, and then once you've flown to this one right here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal with our polished granite still. Just like so. Once you've done this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And there we go. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place one on top, just like so. From this one we place on top, we're then going to do two left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And then there we go. From the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then from the second one that we place to the left, we're then going to do an up left diagonal. And there we go. And from this up left diagonal, we're then going to place 4 on top. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. We're done with that area right there. So as you can see, it should look like 5 going up from the bottom of this black concrete. Once we had done this, we're then going to zoom out. So, for the explaining. So I think it's quite simple, but as you can see, polished granite is going to go all inside here. And our cut sandstone is going to be marked on all the outside. Now, we're not going to mark out the cut sandstone quite yet, just because we're going to mark out and shade this other area here as well, because it's quite close to the polished granite. So taking out our polished granite, we're going to fly back to that one that we placed to the left of that bottom left diagonal of the black concrete. So flying all the way back in towards here. Once you fly back in towards here, we're going to start by placing 1 on top, and then we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back down to here, and we're then going to place 3 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, and 3. From this third one that we place to the left, we're then going to place 1 underneath, and then we're going to place another one to the left, just like so. And then there we go. Once we've done this, we're then going to fly all the way back to that one that we just placed on the top. So back to this one right here. Once you've flown back to this one that we just placed on top, we're then going to place 1 to the right. And then from this one that we placed to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And there we go. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then from this fourth one that we placed to the right, we're going to place 1 on top. Just like so. Then from this one that we place on top, do an upright diagonal. And then finally, but not least, from this upright diagonal, place 1 on top. And then there we go. So as you can see, polished granite is going to go inside here in this little gap right here. And with our cut sandstone, the rest is going to be marked out over here. So we just mark this out right here. And there you go, should be looking like right there. Now then, once you've done this, with our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark out on all the outside now that we have done that little area. So in this one gap here, is cut sandstone. And then we're going to mark on top here. And then we're going to mark all the way down here. And all the way down here. The rest of these areas. So you can see that one gap right there is polished granite as well. So you can just fill that in if you want, just like so. And then flying over to the left with our cut sandstone again, just going to mark it on our left hand side of this area. And there we go, so that's the area marked out right there. So again, polished granite is going all inside here, and it's going up in there, and obviously our cut sandstone is going to go all on the outside. So obviously before we mark out the cut sandstone, we still obviously got a lot more shading in to do. Now with that note being said, let's fly over to the right eye. So with the right eye, nice and simple, we take out our grey terracotta, and we're going to fill in grey terracotta in 2 certain areas. So this gap right here, so where the actual eye is itself from the scar, that free gap is going to be filled in with grey terracotta. And then there you go. So that's what it should be looking like right there. And then we're going to fly all the way up to the left as well. So part of the eyebrow right here. This is also all going to be filled in with grey terracotta. So we're going to fill in this free gap as well with grey terracotta. And then there we go. So we're done with our grey terracotta now. And now for the shading in. So we're going to take out our polished granite once again. So for the area that we're going to be going with our polished granite to make things nice and easy. From that area that we just marked out with our grey terracotta, you can see these 2 up left diagonals of the black concrete. We're going to be flying all the way to that second up left diagonal. So to this one right here. Once you've flown to this one right here with our polished granite, we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. And then we're going to fly back to the left by 1, so back to the black concrete. And we're then going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2 and 3, just like so. From this third one that we place underneath, we're then going to do bottom left diagonal. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to fly underneath by 1, so to this black concrete right here. Once you've flown to here, we're then going to place 1 going underneath with our polished granite again, just like so. So we should be looking like this so far. Once you've done this, we're then going to fly back to that 1 polished granite that we just placed underneath, and we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. And then from the second one that we placed to the right, we're then going to place 1 on top, and then we're going to fly into the right by 1, so to this black concrete right here. And then once you've flown to here, we're going to place 1 polished granite going to the right from here as well. So it should be looking like this so far. And then from that one that we just placed to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And there we go. Once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to fly into the right by 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Now from the third one that we've flown to the right by, we're going to place 1 polished granite going underneath. Just like so. So as you can see, the 3 that we've flown to the right by is into the middle of this 5 black concrete right here. And the one that you place underneath should be on top, and the first line of here when it goes all the way to the right. Or to the very end, as you could say, right here. And once you have placed this one underneath, we're then going to place 4 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, just like so. And from this 4th one we place to the right, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to do an upright diagonal, just like so. But from this upright diagonal, we're going to do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 going to the left from here. Now from this one that we place to the left, we're then going to do another up left diagonal, just like so. And then from this up left diagonal, we're going to fly up by 1. So to this black concrete that's on top of the polished granite right here. And once you have flown to here, we're then going to place 3 polished granite going up from here. So 1, 2 and 3. So we should be looking like that so far in that area. Once we have done all of this, we're then going to fly back to that 3 that we placed on top. So back to this third one right here. And once we fly back to here, we're then going to do 8 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then there we go. So we're done with this area right here. So nice and simple and quite easy, this area. So polished granite is going to go all down here and inside these sections. So in that gap right there, that gap right there, in that bottom right diagonal gap, and that bottom left diagonal gap there, it's going to be all our polished granite. And obviously going all up these upright diagonals here as well. So taking out our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark on the outside on the polished granite. We're just going to mark all of this up. So for the next area, we'll be marking out the rest of the polished granite above. So we've got some areas up here to mark out. Now we're pretty much going to be done with these colours, but not exactly done. We'll be exactly done with the face, but we've got to do the ears next as well. And I want to make sure we get these gaps up here as well. And there we go. I believe that's everything marked out. Yep, there we go. There's everything marked out. So as you can see, polished granite all inside those gaps, and cut sandstone all on the outside. So for the final next 3 sectors, we're going to be flying all the way up into the forehead. So for the first area that we're going to be going off in this area right here, we're going to be flying to the left. So we're going to be going off these 2 center lines here and here. And we're going to be flying to the left one first, and we're going to be going all the way down to this bottom right diagonal right here. So fly all the way towards here. Once you've flown all the way towards here, with our cut sandstone, we're going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place 2 to the left, we're then going to take out our polished granite. Once you've taken out your polished granite, we're then going to place 1 underneath the second cut sandstone, just like so. Once you place this 1 underneath, we're then going to place another 3 going underneath. So 1, 2 and 3. So it's 4 sticking underneath there, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to fly up by 1 from that 4th one, so to the 3rd one right here, and we're then going to place 1 going to the left from here. So we should be looking like that so far. From that 1 you just placed to the left, we're then going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2, and there we go. And the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then from this one that we place on top, we're going to do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 on top, just like so. And once you've done this, we're going to do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to fly into the left by 1, so back to the left corner, and we're going to place 1 on top. Once you've done that, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the one that we placed to the right, so back to this one right here. Once you're flying back towards here, we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals, so 1 and 2. And from the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, and then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal, and then we're going to place another 1 underneath. And there we go. So we should be looking like that right there. So polished granite is going to go all inside that gap, and with our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark on the outside of the polished granite. And I should get that one gap there as well. And there we go. So as you see, polished granite is going all inside there, and cut sandstone is going all on the left. Or outside, I mean. Now, with that being said, we're going to fly over to the next line, so all the way to the right, over to here. And we're going to be shading in the next sector going off to the right here. Obviously, we've got a big sector inside here, but we're doing 2 mini areas first. And we're going to be flying all the way to the bottom 2 that's sticking underneath. So as you can see, we've got 4 of these 2s in the bottom left triangle direction. And we're flying to the very bottom one, and the very bottom end one right here. So once you have flown to this one right here, with our cut sandstone, we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. So we should be looking like that right there. Once you place this 1 to the right, we're then going to take out our polished granite, and we're going to place 1 going to the right of the cut sandstone. And there we go. Once you place that 1 to the right there, we're then going to place 1 underneath. Once you place this 1 underneath, do a bottom left diagonal. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 underneath. And then from this one that we place underneath, we're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then from this one that we place to the right, we're then going to do 5 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like so. Then from this 5th upright diagonal, we're then going to place 7 on top of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then from the 7th one we place on top, we're then going to fly underneath by 1, so down to this one right here. And we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. When this one that we place to the left, we're going to place 1 underneath. Now from this one that we place underneath, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. And there we go. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 underneath. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 underneath. And there we go. So as you can see, polished granite is going to go all inside here. And taking out our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark out on all the outside. So then, once we have marked all of this out, we are going to move on to the next final sector for shading in here, which this area is nice and easy and very simple for us to mark out. And there we go. So again, polished granite's all inside there, and cut sandstone on the outside, and now moving on to the final section. So with our polished granite, we're going to be starting all the way to the left, so to this black concrete line right here again, and we're going to be flying to the bottom right diagonal again. So all the way to that singular bottom right diagonal. And once you've flown to here with our polished granite, we're going to do 5 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On this 5th bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And from this one that we place to the right, we're then going to do 3 upright diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. As you can see, that 3rd upright diagonal should have connected in an upright diagonal direction to that black concrete right there. Once you've done this, we're then going to zoom out, and we're going to fly all the way to the top. So to make things nice and easy, we're going to fly all the way to the right line, so to this black concrete line right here, so where we just connected to, and flying all the way to the top to the one sticking up right here. Well, polished granite, we're going to place 3 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place this 3 to the left, do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And the second up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do another 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second up left diagonal, we're going to place one to the left. Then from this one that we place to the left, do two bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom left diagonal, we're going to place the one to the left, just like so. And then finally but not least, we're going to do 3 bottom left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. And then from this third bottom left diagonal, we're going to do an up left diagonal. And then there we go. We're done with this area right here. So as you can see, polished granite is going to go all inside here, and taking out our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark underneath the polished granite over here, and then on top of it up here. So mark the underneath first. And then once we have marked this out, that is everything done. So we don't have any more explaining to do for this area on the face. We just need to go over and move over to the ears, and then do the rest of the hair, which the hair is quite nice and easy, but we do have some annoying areas to go off, but they're not like hard, it's just there's a lot of small areas that we need to mark out. And there we go. So there is all of the face done now. So all we got to do is just fill in cut sandstone and all the rest of the outside of those areas that we marked out, and obviously fill in the white wall and all those polished granite areas that we marked out as well. Fill all your polished granite inside there, and then you're done with the face. So now then, moving on to the ears. So we'll fly to the left ear first, as that is the easiest here. So flying all the way over to the left. We're going to be flying all the way up to this 2 that's sticking down right here. So as you can see, this 2 that's going down all the way from the top. We're going to be flying all the way to here. Once you fly to this 2 right here with our polished granite, we're going to place 5 going underneath here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there we go. We're literally done in the area right there. So polished granite's going to go all in the right inside these areas right here, and this bottom right diagonal right here gap. So we can just fill it all in now if you want. Just might as well quickly fill it in. And there you go. So as you can see, the ear looks like that. And then taking out our cut sandstone, we're just going to mark on the left of it. So we're just going to mark all on the left here, and then we just want to make sure we mark underneath as well in that one little gap. And there you go, there's everything marked out for the ear right there. So the rest is going to be cut sandstone underneath in that area, and that bottom right diagonal area right there, then all up in here. Once you have done this, we're going to fly all the way to the right, and we're going to do the right ear. And here we go. So for the right ear, nice and simple as well, just a bit more tad confusing, well not tad confusing, just those areas that we need to explain. So flying all the way up to the top, to this 2 that's sticking out to the right, we're going to fly all the way to the end of it. And with our polished granite, we're going to place 5 going underneath again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once again, you're literally done with this area. So polished granite is going to go inside this 2 gap here. So we fill that in. Inside this 2 gap here. And then this 4 gap underneath here. And that 1 gap. And then this 2 gap. And that bottom left diagonal gap. And there you go. So all on the outside is going to be cut sandstone. So we're just going to mark this out right here. And there you go. So now then, once you've done this, we're going to move on to the final sectors and final area for all the shading again to complete this design. So we're going to be using our lime terracotta, our lime concrete powder, and our white concrete for the final areas. And to make things nice and easy, we're going to start on the right side as we are here, and we're going to take our lime terracotta, and we're going to be flying to the left inside line, so the face basically outer line right here, and we're going to be flying going up to the singular up left diagonal right here. So as you can see, we've got this one up left diagonal literally on its own. We're going to be flying to there. Once you have flown to here with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 1 going up from here, just like so. Now from this one that we just placed going up, we're then going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. And from this 4th upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here, just like so. Now from this one that we place to the right, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal, just like so. Now from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to do 6 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like so. Then from the 6th upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And from this one that we placed underneath, we're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do bottom right diagonal from here. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then from this one that we just placed to the right, we're then going to do 4 right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you go. So as you can see, that 4-foot right diagonal should have connected underneath to this one black concrete that's sticking out to the left right here. And then we're literally done with this area. So lime terracotta is going to go all underneath here. And taking out our lime concrete powder, we're just going to mark out on top of the lime terracotta. So we're actually quite lucky with this area. Usually sometimes concrete powder is going underneath, and because it goes underneath we actually can't mark it out. But this time it's on top, so luckily we can actually mark it out for once. Still awkward in some areas, as you can see right there, but not too bad. And there we go. And probably filling in these gaps might just be a bit better. So lime terracotta underneath all these areas, all the way going down here to the bottom, and our lime concrete powder is going to go all on the outside. So before we move over all the way to the left to mark out that section, we got 2 little small sectors, and then we got a bunch of weird lines of our white concrete that we need to mark out, just for a bit of extra shading and touch to the build. So for the first line that we're going to be doing is actually quite nice and easy, because we're actually going to be using our lime terracotta just for a place and block for the time being as well for these areas. But for the first area, we'll be flying to these 3 upright diagonals, and where it's got a 2 going to the left. So it's actually basically 3 bottom left diagonals and a 2 going to the left. So we're flying to this line right here. And we'll be flying to the very third upright diagonal from that 2. So to this one right here. Once we fly into the very third upright diagonal, with our white concrete, we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And for the second one that we place underneath, we're going to do the bottom left diagonal. And there we go, we're literally done with this area. So we don't need to do any thickening with the white concrete. Literally, we're just going to be doing the entire outline for the white concrete, because it's just single lines like this. So that one gap right there is our lime concrete powder, just like so. And literally on the outside is literally all just lime concrete powder. So with the white concrete, you just need to ignore these areas, because those areas are complete and done. But once you have done this, we're going to zoom out and fly to the next area. So for the next area, we're going to be flying up to these 3 upright diagonals, where we got the 2 after it. So this line right here. And so we're going to be flying to the very right of this 2, so at the top right here. And we're going to use our placement block for this area. So for our placement block, we're just going to use lime terracotta for now, because we might as well use it. And with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2. On the second one that we place to the right, we're then going to take out our white concrete. And with our white concrete, we're going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal, just like so. Then once you've done this upright diagonal, we're going to take out our lime terracotta. And we're going to place 3 on top. So 1, 2, and 3. For this third one that you place on top, take out your white concrete. And we're going to place 1 going to the left. Just like so. From this one that you place to the left, do a bottom left diagonal. And once you're doing this bottom left diagonal, we're going to take out our lime terracotta again. And with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3. Once you place 3 going up, take out our white concrete again. And with our white concrete, we're going to place 1 to the left, the third one again, just like so. Once you place this 1 to the left, do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to take out our lime terracotta again, and this time we're going to place 2 going up, so 1 and 2. And then take out our white concrete again. With our white concrete, we're then going to place 1 on top of the second one that we placed going up here, and then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. Once you're doing this bottom left diagonal, we're going to take out our lime terracotta. And with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2. On the second one that we placed going up, we're going to take out our white concrete. And with our white concrete, we're going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, fly back in the bottom left diagonal direction by 1. So back to the 1 white concrete that we placed on top of the 2 lime terracotta right here. And we're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2, and then from the second bottom left diagonal, we're then going to fly in the upright diagonal direction by 1, so to this white concrete that's going to the left of the second of the lime terracotta right here. And once you've flown to here with our white concrete, we're going to do an up left diagonal, and then from this up left diagonal, we're going to do an up right diagonal, just like so. And then from this up right diagonal, we're going to take out our lime terracotta again. And then this time with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 7 going to the left in the second upright diagonal of the 2 white concrete here. So we place 7 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then from the 7 one we place to the left, taking out our white concrete, we're then going to place 1 on top, and then we're going to do a right diagonal. And then there we go. So we're done with the first small sector right here. So once you've done all of this, we're going to destroy all that lime terracotta. So once again, the white concrete is done. You don't need to do anything else or fill anything else in. So lime concrete powder is basically just going to go all on the outside of this. And you know though, as I was saying earlier, you can't really mark out lime concrete powder. You can place them on top, but really there's not much need because as we know, white concrete literally just goes here. But I've marked it out on top just because I can show you how you can at least mark out a bit of it at least anyway. So this is just kind of an example, but again you don't really need to mark that out because you already know that just white concrete is going there. Now with that being said, we're going to fly over to the next sector. So for the next sector we're going to mark out the lime terracotta first. So we're going to be flying at the top of the head. So for the first part that we're going to mark out with our lime terracotta on top of the hair right here, and this little pieces right here. We're going to be flying in this bottom left diagonal direction to like this gap inside here on the right side. So for the area that we were going to go over in this gap right here, as you can see we've got these two twos going up in the upright diagonal direction, and we're going to be flying to the very end too. So this one right here, but we're going to be flying all the way to the left of it. And once you're flying to the left of it, with our lime terracotta, we're going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And there we go, we're literally done with this section. So lime terracotta is going to go all to the left in here. And with our lime concrete powder, we're just going to mark on top, just like so. And then there you go. So once you've done this, we're then going to mark out our white concrete again. So for the area that we're going to offer our white concrete, we're going to fly all the way up to these 3 upright diagonals on its own, right here. And we're going to fly to the very third upright diagonal. Once again, taking our lime terracotta, which we're going to use as our placement block for these areas again, we're going to place 2 lime terracotta going to the right from this third upright diagonal. So 1 and 2. Just like so. Once you've done this, we're going to take our white concrete and we're going to place 1 on top of the second one that we place to the right. Once you place this one on top, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And there we go. We should be looking like this so far. Once you've done this, take out our lime terracotta, and from this upright diagonal that we just did, we're going to place 3 lime terracotta going to the left from here. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. Once you place 3 to the left, taking our white concrete, we're going to place 1 going to the left, and then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal, just like so. Once you're in this bottom left diagonal, take out your lime terracotta again, and with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 4 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. On this 4th one you place to the left, take out your white concrete, place 1 on top, and then do an upright diagonal. And there we go, we're done with this section right here, so we can go and destroy that lime terracotta. We don't need that anymore. And there we go, so that's what those areas should be looking like right there. So again, lime concrete powder is all on the outside and the white concrete is literally already done. So once you have done this, we're then going to move out, and we're going to fly over to the left. So we're going to do a bit of the shading on the left side, and we'll do the white concrete afterwards up here. So, for the first area that we're going to be marking out with our lime terracotta, we're going to be flying down to this one line right here. So where we've got this line going up here, we've got a 2, 2, and 2 bottom right diagonals. And we're going to be flying all the way down to the second bottom right diagonal. So the very bottom one right here. Once we've flown to the very bottom one right here with our lime terracotta, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. And from this one we place to the right, we're going to place 3 going up. So 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, that third one that we place up should connect to the black concrete going down right here. And then once you place this third one up, we're going to place 1 to the left. Just like so. Then from this one that we place to the left, we're then going to do 3 up left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. And then there we go. As you can see, that third up left diagonal should have connected to the left of this 2 on the very top right here. And lime terracotta is going to go all inside here. So taking our lime concrete powder, we're just going to mark out all on top and underneath. We're going to mark to the right as well. And then we're just going to mark underneath. And there we go. So that's what we should be looking like right there. So once we have done this, we're then going to zoom out and we're going to mark out our white concrete areas again, so flying up. So for the area that we're going to go off here, we're going to be flying back kind of to the right section. And as you can see, we got these two right diagonals of black concrete, and we got two of them actually. So we got this set here and we got this set here. And we're going to be flying to the left set of the two right diagonals. So to these two right here. And for the one that we're going to be going off, we're going to be flying to the very top one. So the second upper right diagonal from this first set going to the left right here. Once you've flown over to here, take an odd place on block again, which is going to be our lime terracotta that we're using. And we're going to place 3 lime terracotta going to the left from here. So 1, 2 and 3. From this third one that you place to the left, take out your white concrete. And we're then going to place 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2. Once you've done this, we're then going to do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. And take out your lime terracotta and place 1 to the left. And take out your white concrete again and place 1 to the left. And then we're going to place 1 underneath. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And then from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then from this one that you place underneath, take out your lime terracotta and place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place 2 going to the left, take out your white concrete. And we're going to place 1 to the left, the 2 lime terracotta. Just like so. And then we're going to place 1 on top. Then from this one that you place on top, do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place another 1 on top. Just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to take out our lime terracotta. And with our lime terracotta, we're going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2. Once you place this 2 to the left, taking out our white concrete again, we're going to place 1 to the left, the 2 lime terracotta. Just like so. We're then going to place 1 underneath. Then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then take out our lime terracotta again. And then we're going to place 1 going to the left from this bottom one right here. Once you place this 1 to the left, take out our white concrete. And we're going to place 1 to the left from the lime terracotta. And then we're going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. Just like so. And then from this one that we just placed on top right here, we got just a long area that we got to go out to because it's kind of out of our reach. So taking out our lime terracotta again from this one that we just placed on top, we're then going to place 12 lime terracotta going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Once you place 12 going to the left, taking out our white concrete, we're then going to place 1 going underneath. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. Now from this bottom right diagonal, taking out our lime terracotta, we're then going to place 1 underneath. And then we're going to place 1 to the left. And then taking out our white concrete, we're going to place 1 going to the left. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And then there we go. Once we've done this, we're then going to destroy all the lime terracotta in these areas that we marked out for the white concrete. And then there we go. So we should be looking like this in all those sectors right there so far. So once we have done this, we're then going to move on to the next sectors with our white concrete. And we're going to be flying down to the left side. And we're going to be going off this area right here. So this is pretty much actually the final area. So there's not too much in this side right here. And as you can see for the area, we're flying to this 2 that's sticking out to the left on its own. So where we got again this like gap right here, we're going to be flying to the 2 that's sticking up from the top right here. So fly all the way to the 2. And so we're going to be flying to the end of the 2, so to this one right here. Once again, take on our lime terracotta, we're going to place 2 going up from here, so 1 and 2. Once you place 2 going up, taking out our white concrete, we're then going to place 1 on top. Then from this one that we place on top, do an up left diagonal, just like so. Then from this up left diagonal, taking out our lime terracotta, we're going to place 3 going to the left from here, so 1, 2 and 3. And from this third one that we place to the left, taking out our white concrete, we're then going to place 1 underneath. From this one that we placed underneath, do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2, just like so. Then from the second bottom right diagonal, taking out our lime terracotta, we're then going to place 1 underneath. And from this one that we placed underneath, take out our white concrete, and we're going to place 1 white concrete going underneath the lime terracotta. Once you place this 1 underneath, we're then going to place 1 to the left, just like so. And then from this one that we place to the left, we're going to take our lime terracotta, and we're going to place 3 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then as you can see, we should connect to this black concrete. Once you connect to this black concrete, follow underneath by 1 to the black concrete. Take out our white concrete, and we're going to place 1 to the left. And then we're going to place 1 underneath. Then we're going to do bottom left diagonal. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And then finally but not least, from this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. And there we go. So there's all the white concrete marked out. So we're going to destroy all the lime terracotta that we used to mark out the white concrete. And then there you go. That's what that area should be looking like right there. So pretty much for the final area now we're going to explain. So we do have obviously the top part that we need to explain, but that area is nice and simple. So for the actual marking out the final area, we're going to be flying down to the left hand side above the air obviously. And once again we do exactly kind of the same thing that we did on the other side of the build, and we're going to be flying to the right, to the outer line for the face basically, and we're going to be flying to those 2 right diagonals going up right here. And for the area that we're going to be going off those 2 right diagonals, we're going to be flying to the top of the 2 right diagonals. So fly to the very top one, once again take on our lime terracotta. We're going to place 3 going up from here, so 1, 2 and 3. Once you place this 3 going up, we're going to do 2 up left diagonals, so 1 and 2, and there we go. From the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2, and from the second one they place to the left, do a bottom left diagonal, and there we go. Should be looking like that right there. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to fly into the left by 1, so to this black concrete right here. Once you fly into here, we're going to place 1 lime terracotta going to the left, just like so. Once you place this 1 to the left, we're then going to do 3 up left diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. And from this 3rd up left diagonal, place 1 on top, just like so, and do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the left, so 1, 2, and 3. Then from this 3rd one, we place to the left, do an up left diagonal. And then from this up left diagonal, place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. And there we go, we'll literally double that area. So lime terracotta is going to go all underneath these sections right here. And also this one little gap right here, out to the left, that is part of the hair. So that is lime terracotta right here. So just fill that in right there. And now we're just going to mark out lime concrete powder going on top. So let's mark this out right here. Oh, not once did I do this. Not once the entire build did I put any concrete powder going down. But of course, the first one, always at the end as well. This is why I hate concrete powder. It's not exactly why I hate it, but it's one of the reasons. Because it falls. That is why it's annoying. And when you place it wrong, it falls down to the bottom. With all that being said though, let's fly over to the final area. So for the last and final easiest area to explain for the hair. To this top part right here. So for this area right here, to make things as simple as possible, on the 2 ends right here. So we got this one end right here, so the very upper right diagonal right here, and the very up left diagonal right here. With our lime terracotta on each of these sections, we're just going to place all the way to the left and right till you hit the black concrete. Just like so. And there we go. We should be looking like that right there. And then basically, lime terracotta is going to go all underneath in these sections right here. And then this one area that's going above right here is going to be our lime concrete powder. So I'm just going to show you what it should be looking like. It's a bit more easier to show than explain this area. And there you go. So as you can see, the lime concrete powder is all up in those areas right there. And that's literally all the lime concrete powder filled in. And all the rest in these sections in here, 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 that upright diagonal right there, all down here is lime terracotta. So I'm not going to mark it out or like fill it in, but I'll mark it out but not fill it in. So just a bit right here. Just on the bottom areas. And there we go. Oh, we're on the outside. And there we go. So as you can see, lime terracotta all on there. And I think it's quite nice and easy for the rest of the hair. The rest of the hair is literally all lime concrete powder going above. Obviously, we just got those 2 sectors of the lime terracotta. And those 2 down there, but all the rest is lime concrete powder. Again, the white concrete is all filled in, so you didn't need to really focus anything on that. And with that note being said, that is the end of the build. So obviously I'm now going to cut to everything that's filling in, but once again I'm going to give you one final recap of all the areas. So starting off with the areas. So jungle planks we already filled all inside underneath in the section for the chin right here. So that section, and that section right there has all been filled in. The end stone has been filled in there. The chisel sandstone's been filled up there. And then polished granite is given all inside there. Up in that gap. Up to the right there, white wool on the outside of the eye, we already filled in the light grey concrete and the black wool. The grey terracotta in there and there, we've already filled in. And the polished granite, all inside this area right here. All inside there, all inside there, and all inside there. And the cut sandstone all on the outside of those areas. And then onto the ear, cut sandstone all underneath and all on top, as we already filled in all the polished granite. Exactly the same with the right ear. We've already filled in the polished granite, so cut sandstone all on the outside there as well, inside there. And then lime terracotta going all underneath here, down to that point right here as you can see. Exactly the same on this side, all down here, going down to that point right there at the bottom. And then our lime concrete powder, pretty much all on the outside until you get to those 2 points, which is lime terracotta in there, and obviously the white concrete. That's on the outside, and then literally lime concrete powder, as I said, is all inside here. And then for the final section, recapping off, lime terracotta all going up in those sections, and we've already filled in all the lime concrete powder, so you don't even need to worry about that. So literally just lime terracotta all in the rest. Now all that being said, let's cut into the zooming in part, or the filling in part. So without further ado, if you want to pause the video right now and see the end result for yourself and see the final result for yourself, then you can pause the video right now. Or for those that want a reference to make sure that you don't go wrong and to make sure yours looks like mine and completely correct, then you can pause the video right now. And there we go. As you can see, we have filled in all those areas where it's meant to be filled in. So once again, if you haven't filled this in yet, then pause the video and fill this in. Unless you're going to come back to it to another time, then you can come back to it another time. But there is the end result of the build. Now without further ado, let's just show you the hair as well, so you can see the hair. And then we're going to zoom out and have a look at this beautiful build and see the full result. So there is the hair as well, as you can see. So again, if you haven't done this area, pause the video and complete this area. And if you already have done this area, then we're going to zoom out and see the final end result of this build. Which I must say, this build is definitely looking absolutely amazing. And we're just trying to get everything in frame. Oh. There we go. And there is everything in frame right there. So there is Zoro completed. Which it definitely took a long time to complete this build. But I mean, as you can see, the work has definitely paid off. Because look at this design. In the end result, it just looks beautiful. Because that's when all the colours start to then collide and merge together once everything is completed. And I must say, generally, this probably is one of the best builds yet so far on the channel. As there is a lot more detail. I think it's a lot more cooler considering that I've got like swords in this build. And overall, it's Zoro, which is a very cool character. Now with that being said, that is the end of today's video, and if you did enjoy this build, feel free to go and hit that like button, because it really does help out the channel. It helps out that video get out there. Not just that, it also shows that you much appreciated this build, and that is much appreciated from my end of things. Thank you very much for that. Now with that being said, make sure to go and hit the subscribe button as well, helping us get closer to that 500 sub goal, so I can properly do suggestions and have a way for everyone to interact with it, so we can use the community page. And not just that, before I end the video and roll the outro, which we still don't have an outro, but with that though being said, just a quick reminder of the next builds. The next builds are going to be 3 special builds, so they're not going to be normal builds, kind of like this one. Technically this one was actually kind of a bit of a special. It's kind of a normal build, but at the same time it's not really just Zoro on its own, it's Zoro with 3 swords. But special ones like my Naruto is a Sasuke, something similar along those lines with 2 characters in one, a versus battle, maybe something a bit different, which is going to be the Naruto one, which you will see that one. But again, just a quick reminder on the themes. We are doing Pokemon as the first theme, and then we're also doing Naruto. So those themes are going to be the 2 themes we're doing first. So essentially it would be a Pokemon on one day, and then it would be Naruto on the next day. And then obviously it would be that until we complete one of the builds, which would be most likely the Naruto one first. And then after that we're bringing out the 3rd special, which is the My Hero Academia special. And then after obviously those 2 specials are complete, we then move back onto the single builds until we next do another special when I either feel like it or when we hit another certain sub goal, like hitting 500 subscribers. Now with that being said, it is the end of today's video, so without further ado, I will see you in the next one. So peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.